you ever feel like your home has a hidden secret, a room concealed in the shadows, waiting to be discovered? Let's look at the stories of brave souls who stumbled upon secret rooms lurking behind their own walls. From haunted attics to hidden basements, these spine-tingling stories will leave you questioning the very foundations of your own home, starting with a Denver home that had a booby-trapped secret mobster hideaway. When you're searching for a new home, there are questions you should ask, like, how's the plumbing? But sometimes, the most intriguing secrets lie beyond the mundane. In the heart of Denver, a couple found themselves in an ancient house, unaware of the hidden history that awaited them. Little did they know, this was no ordinary home. They thought they had found their dream home, but little did they suspect the dark secrets buried within its walls. One fateful night, as they wandered through the house, a scent of burning matches filled the air. Curiosity compelled them to investigate, uncovering a trail of matches leading to a hidden compartment within the wall. They discovered a long line of matches and old newspapers. The former owners, as it turned out, were mobsters who had cunningly rigged the house, ready to destroy evidence at a moment's notice should the authorities come knocking. Not just that, but there was also a plastered-over basement that the mobsters had used as a hideout. Now, if I were them, I would turn around and run, but this next guy wouldn't, apparently. This dad found an insanely creepy room in his son's bedroom. Some dads have an uncanny ability to turn the unexpected into something truly extraordinary. When he noticed that there was something strange outside his son's window, he realized that there was a roof outside the house that shouldn't be there. But surprisingly, instead of being terrified, this dad decided to turn it into a surprise for his kid. The roof there basically meant that there was definitely another room that someone had tried to hide. Normally, anyone would be scared of whatever's hidden behind the plaster, but this dad didn't care because he saw it as a project that he could work on. When he knocked the wall down, he found a small room that would be perfect for a playden for his son. A few weeks later, his kid was using the room, hiding behind a small door, and it definitely looked like it was his favorite spot in the house. Still, I'm not sure I would look up why that room was plastered over in the first place. It could definitely be something disturbing that would totally ruin the whole gesture. Speaking of disturbing, old ancestral homes seem to come with a lot of creepy secrets. In the depths of Sussex, England, a young property developer unveiled a haunting secret concealed within its family ancestral estate. Imagine looking through old photographs when you notice that your 500-year-old ancestral home had a secret doorway that's now gone. That's when 23-year-old Freddie Goodall decided to find out the truth. In the viral video, he carefully cleared the shelves, removed the wooden panel, and revealed a dark and empty room behind the mantel. But the adventure didn't end there. Further exploration led him to a floor panel, which he lifted, revealing a secret passageway that descended into underground rooms. Now, I don't know about you, but this is a point where I turn and run, but Goodall was too curious. It looked like these hidden pathways with a basement, 2 more secret rooms, and a corridor with stairs might have been used by servants to move around the house. But there are some really hard to explain creepy findings too, like a brick wall that had weird names and dates on it, and an old safe that had been lying there for decades before Freddie decided to break it open and found some old books and documents from the 19th century. Goodall decided to leave the rooms untouched, but he should probably leave the house too before the former occupants of these creepy rooms return to haunt him. Speaking of something creepy returning, a man named Lucas and his friend started hearing something creepy in their home. It was a regular day for Lucas and his friend when they started hearing strange noises coming from the upstairs bedroom. When Lucas went to check it out, he realized there was a constant knocking sound coming from there. He decided to set up a camera to record the activity, and the footage showed the frames on the wall falling on their own as some dark force had moved them. Now, I don't know about Lucas, but this would be a great time to buy a new home, and he isn't the only one to have found a secret in his house that he didn't even know existed. This man found a creepy hidden room in his house that he's lived in for years. 4 years after moving in, TikTok user @everydaytoking shared a video that revealed what he suspected to be a hidden room in his house. Now, I don't know about you, but there's nothing creepier than the fact that he lived in that home for years and had no idea what was going on. In the footage, he reveals a peculiar layout of the second story, a window for the bedroom, another for the bathroom, and a third, unexplained window wedged between them. When he went inside, he realized that there was no door between the two rooms, leaving an unexplained space. When he went to the roof to find the true purpose of the third window, he realized that there was another room with creepy knocking sounds coming from inside. This would have been a great time for him to turn around and run, but instead, he chose to keep living there. I guess people don't mind secret rooms all that much. People on the internet, though, had all kinds of explanations for the room. Some believe that the builders had just cut a few corners for the bathroom. But if you ask me, there's definitely some evil being living there. Your room's still fine, but imagine knocking down a wall and finding an entire hidden city. Derinkuyu was an ancient Turkish city that lay undisturbed for centuries. But in the 1960s, a local man realized that his chickens kept disappearing into a gap in his basement. Now, normally, anyone would have gotten that gap plastered over, but you know what they say about curiosity killing the cat. When he knocked down the wall, he found a hidden tunnel of forbidden secrets. He had accidentally stumbled upon an ancient, secret subterranean city. At least 20,000 people must have lived in it at some point. This underground maze was used for storage and for people trying to hide from wars. When the Greeks abandoned the city, though, it was left behind. Now, it's great that he gave it up to UNESCO to preserve it as a heritage site, but I would have left that sealed. Ancient ghosts harbor the most violent grudges, and the last thing anyone would want is to unleash a primordial evil on the world. But the only thing creepier than that would probably be finding a secret dungeon in your new apartment. Sometimes life throws unexpected surprises our way, and for this man, his new apartment held a secret that surpassed all expectations. So here's the thing, this guy lucked out with a much bigger apartment than he expected. But here's the catch, it's not your typical extra space. It's more like something you'd see in a scary movie, and I wouldn't recommend spending too much time down there. Here's how it went down. While exploring his fairly small apartment, he stumbled upon a strange hatch on the floor. He opened it. He thought it would be a handy storage area, and technically, he was right. Except it turned out to be a dungeon that stretched into his neighbor's apartment too. Here's where it gets even weirder. The whole apartment building was actually built on the site of an old monastery, which explains a creepy dungeon, kinda, right? But that doesn't explain everything. Like why there's a gigantic stone step that looks like it could have been a bed, or why there's a peculiar grate running through the middle. Honestly, if I were in his shoes, I'd probably shut the door tight and never look back. But hey, maybe if he can brave the ghosts already lurking there, he can turn it into an awesome hideaway. So, from a mobster hideaway full of booby traps to a secret dungeon underneath a small apartment, that's all for the haunting discoveries of hidden rooms that people found in their seemingly normal homes.